Hello and welcome to HERU Yoga for the Blind. My name is Hannah and I will be guiding you through this short yoga session. But before we get started, please ensure that you have enough space around you to move and or someone with you who can support you and your safety as you move through this practice. Make sure to wear something comfortable that you can move in without distraction, and ideally take off your socks so that way you'll get a better feeling for the floor or the yoga mat. Today's practice will be a beginner's seated practice. So things you might want to bring along for this practice are a yoga mat, if you have, a cushion, and or a blanket. Should you not have a yoga mat, you can simply practice on the floor. Please do not use a blanket or a towel to put down, as this will not allow you to grip the floor properly. Lastly, you know your body best. So as you start with your practice, you might experience some discomfort here and there. This can be an indicator that you might want to adjust the pose, but it does not mean that you are not ready for this practice. However, should you experience a pinching pain or pain in general, please stop and ease off in that pose. Pain is never something that you should work through. But now, without further ado, let's get started. Grab your pillow and or blankets to sit on and find a comfortable cross-legged position. Place your feet roughly under the opposing knees and press the outside edges of the feet into the floor. With both hands, grab your right thigh. Roll the right thigh towards the middle of your cross-legged position. You might feel your right sitting bone come off the ground ever so slightly. Now move the right sit bone and thigh back in place and plant it down. Take a moment to feel into the front right hip and tune into the spaciousness that is now there. Let's repeat this on the other side. With both hands, grab hold of your left thigh. Roll the left thigh towards the middle of your cross-legged position. You might feel your left sitting bone coming off the floor ever so slightly. Now move the left sit bone and thigh back in space and plant it down. Both sit bones now firmly on the ground. Feel your spine lengthening right up into the top of your crown. Slightly engage your lower abdomen by gently pulling the navel back towards the spine. You are rooting to rise effortlessly. Lengthen the side body. Place your hands anywhere on your thighs and or your knees. If you feel a little bit frazzled today and in need for some grounding, place the palms down on the legs. If you feel tired and are in need for some energy, flip the palms to the ceiling and place the backs of the hands onto the legs. Now, if this is available to you, rest your upper eyelids. Bringing your awareness to the body parts that are in contact with the floor, to your sitting bones, the back of the thighs, the outer edges of your feet. Take a moment here to really tune into the sensation of the floor supporting you. Then, bring your awareness to the body parts that are in contact with each other. The feet connecting with the thighs, the shins crossing and touching, the hands connecting with your legs, tuning into the sensation of touch. Now bring your awareness to your breath. Where in your body can you feel the breath? Where in your body does the breath travel to? Feel the rise and fall of the breath. The navel rises and falls. Feel the effortlessness of the breath. Now take a deep breath in and a soft, long exhale out. Let's repeat this. Take a deep breath in and a soft, long exhale out. One last time. Take a deep breath in and then softly exhale through your relaxed mouth. Now on your next inhale, float your arms towards the ceiling. Feel the side body lengthening. Here, place your palms together in prayer position, and as you exhale, allow the arms to come through the middle to your heart. Place them against the heart and let them rest here for a short moment. Now inhale, float your arms up towards the ceiling one more time, and the hands come into a prayer position. The side body lengthens. As you exhale, hands come down through the middle and rest in front of the heart. Let's do one last round. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling and place the palms of the hands together. The side body is long, and as you exhale with the hands still in prayer position, place them in front of the heart. Take a moment here. Bring your awareness back into the room and let's get moving. If you wanted to open your eyes, feel free to do so. Now interlace your fingers and move your interlaced hands in circular motions. Here you might find your wrist click. That is nothing to worry about. We are simply warming up our wrists. Now check in with your back. Are you still sitting up tall? Is your lower abdomen still activated? Now change the interlace of the fingers by moving one finger up at a time. This might feel a little bit off, as the second round is often the less familiar side. With your hands interlaced, move the hands in circular motions, but change the direction you are moving in. Do not worry if you're coming back to your usual direction. Now, release your hands. Arms right and left next to your upper body. Inhale and float your arms up. Exhale, gather your hands in front of your heart. Interlace your hands one more time. Flip the palms away from your upper body and press the hands forward and away from you. Reaching them now up to the ceiling. Root your sitting bones firmly into the ground. And as you exhale, reach with your upper body to the left, allowing your spine to bend to the left. On your inhale, come back into an upright position. Root your left sitting bone firmly into the ground. As you exhale, reach with your upper body to the right, allowing your spine to bend to the right. On your inhale, come back into an upright position. Exhale, release your hands down right and left next to you. Come onto all fours. Move the blanket and the pillow out of the way. Place your hands roughly shoulder width apart and a little bit in front of your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Then claw the fingertips back, rooting the knuckles and the base of the palm into the floor. Your knees are roughly hip width apart and slightly behind the hips. If you have tender knees, either double up on the mat or place the blanket underneath them. Gently pull your navel back to the spine and keep your lower abdomen activated. Now inhale, feel your heart pull forward and upwards and tilt your pelvis forwards. That way, the sitting bones lengthen towards the ceiling. Feel your spine lifting on both opposite ends to the ceiling. As you exhale, pull your navel back even a little bit more. Press the hands firmly into the ground and round your spine to the ceiling. Feel your head and your tailbone moving towards each other. This is what we call cat-cow. Repeat this movement in your own timing, using the breath as an indicator for your movement. You expand and lengthen the spine as you inhale, cow. You contract and round the spine as you exhale, cat. As you work through this movement, exploration of the spine, imagine a marble rolling up and down your spine. The movement you create is moving this marble up and down the vertebrae. Keep checking in with your navel, especially in cow pose. Are you still engaging that lower abdomen? Take a few more rounds here. You inhale, expand, and exhale, contract. Inhale, expand, exhale, contract. Do one last round, and then come into a neutral spine. Your navel is engaged, your chin slightly lifted. Tuck your toes and spread them across the yoga mat. Float the knees off the mat. Hold this position for 3 deep breaths. You inhale for 1, keep looking forward. You exhale. Inhale for 2, navel keeps pulling back, exhale. Inhale for 3, strong arms, exhale. Lower the knees down. Open your knees as wide as the yoga mat, your big toes come to touch. Press your sitting bones back to the heels, come into a forward fold. Your arms are extended forwards. Hands on fingertips like a spider. Wrist, elbows, armpits are lifted away from the yoga mat. Your forehead and heart melt into the yoga mat. This is child's pose. If at any point during the practice you need a break, please feel free to come to this active resting pose. Inhale, and from the bottom of your spine, roll up into a tabletop. Move your weight forwards to your hands and lift your heels off the ground. Your knees are now bent. Exhale, bend your elbows back, lowering your chin and chest, then tummy down onto the mat. Inhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Pull your heart forwards, cobra. Exhale, press the hands into the floor, pull the navel back, and through bent knees, come back into child's pose. Inhale, and from the bottom of the spine, like a wave, come back into a tabletop position. Tuck your toes under. Extend your right leg back. Extend your left leg back. Plank. Keep your chin slightly lifted. Exhale. Lower the knees. Hug the elbows back. Slowly lower your upper body down. Chin and chest first. Untuck your toes. Press the tops of the feet into the spot where your sandal strap would go, into the floor. Inhale. Roll the shoulders back and down. Pull the heart forwards, cobra. Inhale and hold. Exhale, rotate your chin to the right. Inhale, bring it back to neutral. Exhale, rotate your chin to the left. Inhale, bring it back to neutral. Exhale. Press your hands into the floor. With bent knees, bring your sitting bones to the heels. Child's pose. Arms are still stretched out and hands on fingertips. On your next exhale, walk your fingertips towards the right corner of your mat, rooting through your left sitting bone. Take a few breaths here. Try to keep your arms at least shoulder width, if not even a little wider. Feel your heart melting into the floor. On your next inhale, walk your arms back into the middle of the mat. Exhale, walk them over to the left corner of your mat. Rooting down through the right sitting bone. Arms remain as wide as the shoulders. Take a few breaths here. Feel the widening of the back of the lungs. Inhale, walk your arms back into the middle of the mat. Exhale, soften your heart to the floor. On your next inhale, and from the bottom of the spine, like a wave, roll back up into a tabletop. Now, flip your right hand over so the back of the hand is pressing into the mat. The fingers are pointing towards your right knee. Here you might feel a stretching sensation alongside your forearms. Take a few breaths here. Then flip your right hand back over with the palm down. Change the side. Flip your left hand over. The back of the hand is pressing into the mat. The fingers are pointing back to your left knee. Notice if and how the side feels different to the other. Take a few breaths here. Flip the hand back over with the palm down. On your next exhale, send your sitting bone back to the heels and come into child's pose. Take a few deep breaths here. Feel your heart melt into the floor. Feel your sitting bones releasing towards the heels more on every exhale. We come to twists in a seated pose. Now, on your next inhale, place the hands underneath the shoulders. Press the hands into the floor and roll your upper body up into an upright position. Now here you have different options. If your knees and ankles are happy, you can stay in this position called Virasana, hero's pose. If your knees are happy but your ankles are not, try to tuck the toes and spread them across the yoga mat. Should none of these variations work for you, please feel free to come back into a cross-legged position. Now inhale and float both your arms up towards the ceiling, lengthening your side body as you're rooting through your sitting bones. As you exhale, take your right hand onto the outside of the left knee or thigh. Your left hand can come either behind you on the floor or on your tailbone, lower back for stability. Roll your shoulders back as you inhale, and as you exhale, rotate to the left, moving from the bottom of the spine, revolving the lower abdomen, chest, and then the chin. As you inhale, find the length. As you exhale, you revolve. Repeat this a few times in coordination with your breath. You inhale and expand. You exhale and rotate. Ensure that your sitting bones are firmly rooting into the floor. On your next inhale, float both arms up to the sky and prepare for the other side. Exhale, your left hand comes onto the right knee or thigh. Right hand behind you on the floor and or your tailbone lower back. Inhale, roll your shoulders down and back. Root your sitting bones and lengthen your side body. On your exhale, revolve to the right, moving from the lower back to your abdomen, to your chest and chin. Move your chin over your right shoulder. As you inhale, find length again in your spine, rooting down through your sitting bones. As you exhale, revolve that little bit more, always ensuring to keep the contact of the sitting bones with the floor or heels. Allow the movement to travel from the bottom of the spine up. The chin is the very last part that moves. Now, on your next inhale, float both arms back up to the ceiling and bring your upper body back into a neutral position. Now, we're going to move towards the floor. So if you are in hero's pose, place your right hand next to you on the floor, shift your hips to the right and your feet to the left. Swing your feet around and come into a seated position with the knees bent and roughly parallel. If you're seated cross-legged, simply release the legs in front of you, bend the knees and firmly place the feet into the ground. Take both hands behind you with the fingers pointing away from you. Inhale, roll your shoulders back and lift your heart towards the sky. Press your feet firmly into the ground and peel your hips off the floor. Lift your pelvis towards the sky, coming into an upside down tabletop. Stay in this position for one full circle of breath. As you exhale, lower your pelvis down, leading with the sitting bones. Now, reach forward with both arms. Pull your arm bones back into the shoulder socket. Pull your navel back and then roll slowly down, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you come to lie on your back. Knees are still bent and feet firmly on the ground. Reach your arms out to the side in line with your shoulders. If you do not have enough space, you can bend your elbows roughly 90 degrees. Exhale and allow your knees to fall to the right. Both shoulders remain firmly on the ground. Inhale, feel your navel pull back and your knees come back into the middle, facing to the ceiling. Exhale, knees fall to the left. On your inhale, pull the navel back so that your knees come back into the middle. Repeat this flow a few times, working with your natural breathing pattern. Do not worry about whether your knees are touching the floor. The important part here is to move with your breath and to keep both shoulders rooted into the floor. That way, you can find the rotation of the spine in the right places. Keep working with your breath here. You exhale, knees fall to the side. You inhale, navel pulls them back into the middle. Let's do each side one more time, and then come back onto your back with your knees bent. Now float both knees to your chest, wrap your arms around the shins and pull the legs towards your chest. Should your knees do not like this, you can place the hand behind the knees, between your calf and the back of the thigh. Gently roll from side to side, offering your lower back a little massage here. Now we prepare to come into our final relaxation pose called Shavasana. Float both legs back onto the floor. Lengthen your right leg forward, lengthen your left leg forwards. Have the feet slightly wider than your hips, with the feet flopping open. You want as little muscular tension in your legs as possible. If you do have the folded blanket nearby, you can use this to put it underneath your knees for comfort. If you have a tight lower back, try putting the folded or rolled up blanket underneath your calves instead. Your hands are right and left, roughly on hip height, but a little wider than the yoga mat. Your palms are open and facing the ceiling. This will allow your shoulders to roll back a little bit more. Now, inhale and lift your heart. Exhale, melt the back of your heart, the space between your shoulder blades, into the floor. Now, even if you have very little to no vision, you still might want to close your eyes here to give your eyelids and the muscles around your eyes a rest. Now bring your attention back to your breath. Where in your body can you feel the breath now? Where do you feel the inhale? Where do you feel the exhale? Simply notice. Know that for the next few moments, this is your only job. Nothing more, nothing less. It is you and your breath. Feel your navel rise and fall without any effort. You inhale calm and exhale tension. Scan your body for any remaining areas of tension. And with every exhale, allow the muscles to relax that little deeper into the earth beneath you. Feel the muscles melt and the tension flow into the floor. Relax your jaw and your shoulders. Feel your legs, arms, head and pelvis become heavy. Your breath is even, calm and steady. Feel the floor support you and your body. Your navel rises as you inhale and it softens as you exhale. Feel the broadening of the back body as you breathe in. Feel the softening of the body as you exhale. You are safe. You can now fully relax. Allow your body and your mind to drift off for the next few moments. When it is time to come out of this relaxation, I will speak you through it. But for now, simply let go. Now, without moving your body or your eyelids, slowly bring your awareness back into the room that you are in. Bring the awareness to the smells and the sounds around you, the texture of the yoga mat, the floor beneath you, the temperature of the room. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Slowly move your head from side to side. Bend both knees and firmly place the feet on the mat. Inhale and reach your right arm behind you. Maybe even take a bit of a stretch here, a yawn, a sigh, whatever feels good for you right now. Then come to lie onto the right side. Take a moment here. Then on your next inhale, place your left hand onto the floor and press yourself back up into a comfortable cross-legged position. You inhale and float both arms up towards the ceiling. Gather your hands in prayer in front of your heart. And now let's finish the session with a few silent words of gratitude. Let's say thank you to our body for carrying us through this practice, supporting us and our loved ones through this day, and for always giving us a home, no matter what. With love and respect. Thank you very much for practicing with me today.